So castor oil for your eyes. Should you do it? I did a video on castor oil and we talked about the aesthetic benefits, especially around the eye and for the eye skin. So many of you posted your success with using castor oil for dry eye, floaters, cataracts, blurry vision, and much, much more. In fact, some of them were hard to believe. So does it work and is it safe? How should you best use it in and around the eye and in what concentration? I'll give you exact details today. What do the studies say? I know what you say because we had 6,000 comments on it, thus this video, but you only get 2 eyes and they're very delicate, extremely delicate and sensitive. Of note here, castor oil may be used in one of 2 ways for eye benefits. Number 1 is a drop, and number 2 on the lids or the skin around the eye. Now, when I say drop, it's in commercially available drops in a small percentage. Make sure to watch this video closely. I'm not saying 100% castor oil dropped into your eye. You'll see exactly how and why as the video goes on. I have a complete video on the brow for brow growth and hair lash growth, and I'll link that at the end of this video. Before we go further, let me expand on whether castor oil makes your facial hair grow or not. On my community section, just about 80% of you said it does not and did not cause your facial hair to grow, whereas about 20% of people said yes, it did. That should give you some data to go on regarding this. You see many of the drops used for dry eye and eye irritation that you may have now that you can buy commercially, like at your drugstore. Many of you buy them on Amazon. I would caution you from buying medical stuff like that from Amazon. More on that in another video. But you can get these commercially available and they do contain some castor oil. Ones like Refresh Optiv Advanced or Refresh Optiv Mega 3. A lot of times ones with omega 3s in them, they have castor oil as well. So look in yours. Even ones like Restasis. Restasis is a prescription eye drop and it's from the makers AbbVie. And you might be saying, I know AbbVie, and yes, you likely do. They make Juvederm, they make the new Skin Vive, the skin booster, and they also are the makers of Botox. So you know them well. They're in the aesthetic world and also the eye world. Now, the active ingredient in Restasis is 0.05% cyclosporin. That's an immunosuppressive agent when we give it systemically. But the inactive ingredients, among others, are glycerin, which you know about from skincare, and castor oil. You'll see it in there. These castor oil type of drops are usually emulsions, which means they include an oil like castor oil and water. More on straight castor oil in the eye in a moment, because I know many of you are wondering that. But first, how would it work in the eye anyway? Well, the oils create a film over the eye that reduces the likelihood that water will evaporate from the eyes. And when that does, it causes them to be dry. So this causes them to be less dry. But why not just place that pure castor oil directly into the eye like many of you said that you were doing? Well, this is a hack all over TikTok. And after all, we now know the big pharma companies know it works because it's in these drops. They charge a ton of money for it. And in fact, castor oil is inexpensive. You can get it on Amazon for almost nothing. Well, first we need to look at a couple of studies to help guide us. And by the way, for those of you who missed the first video, what exactly is castor oil? Let's look at that first. Castor oil is an oil produced from the castor beans, which are commonly grown in Western India. Now, many of you know castor oil as a laxative when you take it by mouth. You guys always ask me which one I use, and here it is. It's Valona. That's the one I'm using right now. It's certified organic, and you can see it comes in a glass bottle. I like that. It's very inexpensive at 16 ounces. As of this recording, it costs under $20. It's $19. But here's what you're looking for if you have some at home. Certified organic, obviously 16 ounces, a nice size bottle. And look here, it's cold pressed. It's natural oil, so it's not diluted. You want 100% pure. Hexane free. There's no added scent or alcohol. So that's why I like this one. They even have an under $6 version. Look at this. It's 2 ounces, but it comes with applicators for the brows and the lashes should you be using it in that way. And of course, I have a whole complete video on how and why and the nuances behind using it for lash and brow growth. I'll put these products as well as links to that video below in the more info section below this video for those who wish. So let's look at the data to guide us. A study published in the Journal of Ocular Surface studied the topical use of castor oil to treat blepharitis or inflammation of the eyelid. Daily application to the eyelid for 4 weeks helped reduce symptoms like eyelash matting. You know, when it gets all matted down. Let's look at this in a bit of detail. Let's look at this study. Okay, so here's a study here, and we like this. A randomized trial, unlike the American Heart Association's study on fasting that showed it increased heart disease, which was a poster presentation that we went through recently. This is an actual randomized trial of topical periocular, so around the eye, castor oil treatment for blepharitis. Okay, it's always good to know the purpose of a trial because that's the primary thing they're trying to find out. There may be other things we learn, but often they're statistically not as significant as what they're trying to find out because it's designed, the trial design is so important. And the purpose was to evaluate the effects of topical castor oil, the application to the eyelids. That's where we're going to start with this. We're going to the drops in a little bit here, but this is when I'm talking about applying it to the eyelids, the effect on the ocular surface and tear film parameters in patients with blepharitis. So they already had the problem. Here's what they did. 26 people. So it's relatively small. And it gives you the breakdown, 14 females, 12 males. Good for this channel because that's pretty much the demographics of what we have here. With clinical signs of blepharitis were enrolled in a prospective, meaning a forward-looking, investigator masked, meaning the person investigating did not know what they received, which is good. Randomized paired eye trial. So they paired the eyes. One probably got one and one didn't. A 100% cold pressed castor oil. This is what you're interested in. 100% cold pressed castor oil, which is what we like to use. That means it has, if it's cold pressed, it doesn't have chemicals that's extracting it. That's what we like. And this was the type they used. Was applied to the eyelids of one eye. They're in the pairing that we talked about. In the eyelids of one eye, twice daily. There's your dose for 4 weeks. Ocular surface characteristics, symptoms, and tear film parameters were assessed at baseline and then on day 28. I like that. Okay, so here's the results. Baseline measurements did not differ between the treated and control eyes. Good p-value, not bad, 0.05. A significant reduction in OSDI symptomatology score, that's a way to measure their amount of blepharitis, was observed following the 4-week treatment period. Clinical improvements on eyelid margin thickening, telangiectasia, so that's the little red spider veins that you get, eyelash matting, that's actually with blepharitis a good indicator. Many of you may comment below that you get matting, matarosis, cylindrical dandruff, and lid wiper epitheliopathy. These are all measurements of blepharitis. Were limited to treated eyes, while greater decreases in staphylococcus and seborrheic eyelash crusting were observed in treated than control eyes. Here it is. No adverse effects were reported during the treatment period because that's important to know, especially with castor oil. Topical castor oil application, here's your conclusion, affected significant improvements in ocular surface signs and symptoms in patients with blepharitis. The favorable therapeutic profile would suggest that castor oil demonstrates promise as a potential treatment for blepharitis and support the conduct of further efficacy trials with longer follow-up. And the reason they might say that is that the power of the study. It was short, so it was only a 4-week period, and there were, 24 people or something like that in the study. So they're hesitant to make these huge conclusions, but we know from the comments below of all of my videos, and here's a nice trial to give you some indication. There's not a lot of incentive for big pharma to study this. Remember this, because there's not a lot of money to be made in castor oil. So we'll take what we get. A 2014 animal study published in the Journal of Veterinary Medical Science studied the application of a solution containing castor oil and sodium hyaluronate. That's, you think of hyaluronic acid, it's a form of that, on pig's eyes. The researchers found that the mixture of these two ingredients had a protective effect against eye dryness, and they recommended using the mixture as an artificial tear. They went that far. Another one, a 2010 study published in the Journal of Contact Lens and Anterior Eye, found an eye drop that contained castor oil helped reduce dry eyes by increasing the thickness in the tear's lipid layer. You'll see that in some of your eye drops. Lipids are added, but that's how it worked. Another one, a 2002 study published in the Journal of Ophthalmology, studied the use of castor oil-containing eye drops in the treatment of meibomian gland dysfunction. I have videos on what that is. It's a common dry eye cause. Study participants applied a mixture that contained 2%, keep that in mind, 2% castor oil and 5% polyoxyethylene castor oil. So low percentages, that's the point of this. The researchers found that the castor oil drops were effective. They were effective in treating meibomian gland dysfunction, and study participants didn't report any adverse effects at those concentrations. Now, here's the thing. Even if you get organic, hexane-free, cold-pressed castor oil from a great source, there are 4 reasons using it in the eye is something I don't recommend. Here I'm talking about a drop. I'm not talking about using it on the lids. I like using it on the lids, although it's super thick, it works, but in the eye as a drop is what I'm talking about here. Number 1, the drops are not sterile that you're getting. Now, if they're in the commercially available one, yes, they're purified and sterile. What I'm talking about is just getting your castor oil in pure form, 100%. They're not sterile. Number 2, when you use it in pure form, it's extremely thick. So for people that commented, when you're putting it into your eye, it will cause blurry vision because it's so thick, it changes the refraction in your eyes. Number 3, the concentration used in the drops you see are less than 5% for sure. It's not 100% pure like you guys are putting in. Number 4, pure castor oil may have the opposite effect with itching, swelling, and irritation of the eye. It's not that uncommon. It seems to be about 3 to 10% depending on what you read. And here's the thing. For many of you commenting putting pure castor oil in your eye, you were using it for cataracts, for instance. And there's no evidence that it helps with floaters or cataracts. At least in the scientific literature, don't get upset with me, it's not in the scientific literature that I could drum up. Definitely, if you have a study on this, send it over. I'm happy to look at it. What other treatments can be used for dry eye with or without castor oil? And remember I said I like it around the eye, and many of you for dry eye will find putting it on the lid, upper or lower, will be just enough to help your dry eye. Look in the comments below, likely this video, but definitely my last one as well. If you are having dry eye, think about over-the-counter artificial tears for dry eyes. These may use other ingredients like mineral oil. Many of you like hyaluronic acid in those that you commented on. An artificial tear ointment is one that people find works well. If you're using drops and you need a little bit more, you can apply these at night. If you have severe dry eyes, you just need something a little thicker, and the ointment can do it for you. Next would be a prescription eye drop, and there's more and more coming. There's more and more in the FDA approval chain, so watch for these, and they're getting more creative. But these drops not only lubricate the eyes, but they also reduce inflammation and irritation that's leading to your dry eye, like the cyclosporin I talked about in Restasis. You also have something called Xiidra, Xiidra. Think about punctal plugs. If other solutions don't relieve your dry eye, many of my patients have these placed. A punctal plug also known as a tear duct plug or lacrimal plug. It's a small medical device, and you insert it into the tear duct of the eye, and it blocks the duct. Thus, it prevents the drainage of the liquid from the eye, so you maintain a more moist eye, and the liquid you do have there stays longer. Adopting some simple healthy habits can improve your dry eyes. It's amazing what sleep will do. A humidifier to maintain moisture. When you travel, check it out. You'll travel somewhere, maybe the Caribbean or somewhere, you go, well, my eyes, they're great right now. Think about humidity. Hot compresses are great, and they have those microwavable kind of beanie bag eye covers. Those work really good because on the meibomian glands, they help mobilize the sticky liquid that's in there, and they allow the free flow of the liquid that does want to come out. So maybe 5 or 10 minutes a day, it's a very easy thing to do. Remember that sun can kill your meibomian glands that produce the tears, so wear wraparound glasses, avoid photo damage and sun damage to your eye. Of course, stop smoking and avoid eye exposure to smoke. For me, going to Vegas for all these congresses, I can barely see by 3 days of that smoke in my eyes because the air there is terrible. And of course, Vegas is dry. And so you're losing the moisture that's on your eye surface. Computers are another killer for dry eyes. So take frequent breaks from your computer. Remember, when you close your eyes hard like that, that extracts liquid from your meibomian glands. So a strong blink once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that, and that will help moisturize your eyes. You're now going to want to watch this video up here all about castor oil for your skin, and one down here about castor oil for your brows and your lashes. Stay tuned here. Keep your skin and body beautiful, healthy, and vibrant.